Maui Real Estate in Review for 2024. I just wanted to talk about what's happened in Maui over the past 12 months. You know, it's been a crazy world here between the government, the mayor doing some crazy political stuff with our vacation rentals. The aftermath of the fire from last year is still having massive impact. Things are moving slow with all of the recovery. Maui is still the most beautiful place in the world, and so many people still want to be here. And then we've got people on the mainland or people on the island sort of putting out this energy that's, well, mainlanders aren't welcome. And I just want to dispel some of that, tell you what's happening in our real estate economy, as well as the rest of the market here on the island of Maui. So initially, after the pandemic, we had this big surge of investment properties, a lot of values going through the roof. This year, we've seen a stabilization in our market price. We're somewhere sitting around $1.15 million on the average sale price for a Maui property. Still pretty substantial compared to the rest of the world, but it has leveled off and stabilized. Some of the key trends in our market, the luxury market is continuing to stay strong. We're seeing property selling in the area of 20 million, and we had a property as high as 38 million that was sold off market, never came to the world, and so we're seeing some really strong activity in that market. However, very limited inventory. So it's interesting that we do not have a lot of properties available, but they are selling, and they very often sell off market. One of those things that if you're thinking about buying something in the super high end, it's worthwhile to give me a call and just understand we can find properties that may not be available that are actually available. I know that we currently have a listing that's at $65 million here on the island of Maui. So the high-end market is strong, there's opportunity, and there is a limited amount of inventory. Second home and investment properties, we're still seeing some activity, but because of Mayor Bisson's statement earlier in the year that he wanted to take away 7,000 short-term vacation rentals, there's a lot of negative energy that's been happening revolving around the Maui resort economy and resort condo market. So that's been challenged. We are seeing a slowdown dramatically in those properties that are part of the Minatoya list. The hotel zone properties are still selling, but overall we're still seeing a softening because of the negative energy that was put out there. I feel that that's starting to change, and we're going to see a recovery in that. I also believe that if you're thinking about buying in Maui, right now there are some excellent opportunities in that market that's been threatened, because I can't imagine that they'll be able to take those away. The county council has been elected. We feel that that council will not put Mayor Bisson's proposed law in place, and we're going to get back to business as normal. And when that happens, I see a recovery in our market. Interest rates have started to stabilize and come down. That's also helped that market, as a lot of people will use loans to purchase their properties in that resort and second home market where they're doing vacation rentals. As for the buyer profile, we're starting again to see more international buyers coming in. The Canadian buyers are softening a bit because the exchange rate is a little bit uncomfortable, but we're starting to see some Japanese investors return to our market. And of course, California and the West Coast US, as always, continues to be strong as far as our buyer profile goes for resort and second home properties. As for inventory and the challenges it's created, we still have low inventory since the pandemic. And it's been low for many years now compared to where we were at pre-pandemic inventory numbers. The market has been trying to adapt to this new inventory levels. We are starting to see more inventory, but there is still a solid demand for properties in the Maui marketplace. We have also had very limited new construction. We're starting to see a little bit of new construction in the central Maui region, but not enough to offset the demand that we have. With the fires and the demand that we're going to be having on labor and contractors in the west side of the island, I think we're going to be seeing even more and greater challenges coming forth in the next couple years. Opportunity does still exist. However, on some of the hot properties, you need to be prepared to step up and be quick to the offering table, as we still are seeing multiple offers on some properties. In the South Maui marketplace, we are seeing a slowdown in some of the residential and the resort properties, as I mentioned earlier. Each property has a unique set of attributes and desirability, so I think it's important to have an agent on your team, and when you see something come to market, react to it quickly if it's a unique and rare property. Recently, I just brought 2 properties to the market that were high-end, almost $3 million and just over $4 million. Both of them sold in less than 12 days. So the market still is strong in certain segments of the market, but it's very nuanced, and it's very important to be aware of what's selling and what's not. The Lahaina wildfires still have an impact, and as I mentioned earlier, I believe that they're going to continue to impact our marketplace, the construction, the the process of rebuilding, and our available workforce. We are on an island, so it becomes really challenging when you're trying to build something or hire handymen or hire workers when there's such a big demand that's going to be coming in the next 12 to 14 months as new permits are being approved and the construction starts to happen. Now, typically our contractors in the south side of Maui work on the south side of Maui, and the contractors in the west side work on the west side. But I can only imagine that as time goes on, there will be such a demand that if we do not have more contractors and more laborers coming to the market, it's going to be a very, very difficult build-out process as a result of the Lahaina wildfires. And with that in mind, I'm concerned that prices are going to go up on the construction costs. And when the construction costs go up, then the retail or the residential resales also will go up because of supply and demand and the market dynamics. So what do I expect to see coming in 2025? Wow, that is definitely a crystal ball question. I do believe that we're going to have a lot of factors that are going to impact our market in dramatically different ways. We've got the Lahaina wildfire build out and that construction that I mentioned. That's going to impact the cost of labor, the cost to build. We're going to have a more balanced market in the South Maui marketplace where I see more inventory coming to market. However, it's been a bit slow. And we're seeing a stabilization also because inventory has been sitting in the properties that were affected by Mayor Bisson's desire to take away 7,000 rental units. I believe that we're going to see that price point softening in those properties that were potentially at risk, and then I see a recovery of those properties and an escalation in value after that is resolved. In whatever way it's resolved, I think we're going to see that come together when people have a clear understanding of if the properties will be impacted or won't be impacted, and then who the new buyer pool for those will be. In summary, 2025 is going to bring some new challenges, but it's also going to bring some great opportunities. Maui is still the most beautiful place in the world with the perfect weather, the most idyllic beaches, and just the most amazing people. So if you've been thinking, should I buy in Maui now or should I wait? My answer is always buy now and get on with your life and enjoy this little piece of paradise that we have. I'm Tom Tezak with Hawaii Life. I look forward to seeing you in 2025. If you're on island, by all means, let me know if you're coming to town. I would love to meet with you, give you a hat, buy you a coffee, have a drink, or show you some real estate.